And you do well to call him chief, who for 12 long years has faced upon the arena every man or beast the broad Roman Empire could furnish, and has never yet lowered his arm. If there be one among you who could ever say, in public fight or private brawl, that my actions did belie my tongue, let them come forth and say it. If there be 3 among you who would dare to face me on the bloody sands, let them come on. But I have always not been as such, a hired butcher, a savage chief to still more savage men. I am from old Sparta. My ancestors came and settled among the vine-clad rocks and citron groves of Syracela. My childhood was as quiet as the brooks in which I played. At noon, when I gathered the sheep beneath the shade and played upon the shepherd's flute, there would be a boy, a friend, the son of a neighbor, who would join me in my pastime. We led our flocks to the same fields, and we partook together our rusty meal. One evening, when the sheep had been folded and we had all been seated beneath the myrtle which shaded our cottage, my grandsire, an old man, told a tale of a small band of Spartans who, in a defile of the mountain, withstood an entire army. I did not yet know what war was, but my cheeks burned, and I clasped the knee of that old man until my mother brushed my hair from my forehead, kissed my throbbing temples, and bade me rest and think no more about tales of war and savagery. That very night, Rome landed upon our coast, and I saw the breast of the woman who nourished me trampled beneath the warhorse, the bleeding body of my father cast upon the rafters of our dwelling. I killed a man today in the arena, and when I broke the clasp of his helmet, behold, there was my friend. He knew me. He smiled, and he gasped, and he died. Same smile upon his face that I marked in boyhood, when we climbed the lofty cliffs and plucked the first ripe grapes and ran them back to home in childish triumph. I begged the praetor to let me take his body and burn it upon a funeral pile so that I could mourn over his ashes. I, there in the dust and the blood of the arena, begged for the body of my friend, while the maids and the matrons and the holy virgins they call vestals and the rabble shouted in derision, deeming it rare sport to see Rome's fiercest gladiator pale and tremble at the sight of a piece of bleeding clay. And the patron stepped back from me as if I were pollution and said, "Let the carrion rot. There are no noble men but Romans." And so, fellow gladiators, must you and must I die like dogs. Rome has been a tender nurse to me. Thou hast given to that poor, gentle, timid lad who knew no harsher tone than that of a shepherd's flute, muscles of iron and a heart of flint. Taught him to drive the sword through plated mail and rugged brass and warm it in the blood of his enemy, and gaze into the glaring eyeballs of the fierce Numidian lion, even as a boy upon a laughing girl. And he shall pay thee back until the yellow Tiber is red as frothing wine, and in its deepest ooze thy lifeblood lies curdled. You stand here now like giants, and giants you are. But tomorrow some Roman Adonis breathing perfume from his curly locks, with his lily fingers pat your red brawn, and bet his successors upon your blood. Do you hear the young lion roaring in his den? 'Tis 3 days since he last tasted flesh, but tomorrow he shall break his fast upon yours. A dainty meal for him ye will be. If you are beast, then stand here like fat oxen waiting for the knife of the butcher. But if you are men, then follow me. Strike down, young guard, gain the mountain passes, and there do bloody work as your sires did in old Thermopylae. Is Sparta dead? Is the old Grecian spirit frozen in your veins that you crouch and cower like a belabored dog beneath your master's lash? Comrades, warriors, Thracians! If we must fight, let us fight for ourselves. And if we must kill, let us kill our oppressors. And if we must die, then let us die beneath the sky, beside the bright waters, in noble, honorable,